Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I just wanted to get on here for a little bit and to explain to people some of the things that'll be happening in the near future. I looked into voting early and I can actually do that out here. So I'm probably going to get out there and make sure all the blues on the ballot and the people that righteously need to be in power. I keep telling people Trump is a reality TV star. I think at this point he was a businessman and a racist. He openly said many racist, disgusting things. Like he can just grab women by the pussy. Like that's so vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Like in a world where even if I was just like playing with some buddies and talking silly, this dude like openly talks like that, man. Like, so, you know what I mean? Everybody says shit, but I try to explain to people that certain people are so headstrong. Excuse me, that they're not really going to change anything. So when I just was listening to Obama speak, and Obama was talking about how Trump for 4 years tried to repeal Obamacare during a pandemic or around the time of a pandemic, then afterwards was still running his mouth, right? But people don't seem to want to understand that. And then what I don't understand is after this man did all that, he is still coming back over and over, trying over and over to destroy people's lives. I listened to him talk, and he basically sounded like he was having trade wars. He was like, this contract was this, and that contract was that, and I made them go down for all these months, and this and that. His rhetoric, he's like a kid in a candy store, like bragging. And it's like, I try to tell people that essentially, no matter how people want to feel in this lifetime, whatever's going on, the Pope is the dragon. He's like the God of the world. He's the biggest religious leader. He has gotten all these people to follow a name called Jesus and this book that people printed across the world with the name Jesus in it, right? Then you got Netanyahu, the beast. He's using ISIS Israel to go destroy all these Arab nations and do all this foolishness, right? And then you got Trump in America, right? Who's the false prophet. People are calling him the Messiah. He's out here selling Bibles in a country with separation from church and state, and he hates immigrants, but his grandfather's a German immigrant. All of these of Anglo-Saxon descent, right? Germans, eventually you get down to the bloodline. And people don't seem to understand what's going on, right? So the forefathers in America were enslavers, man, and this is what America's trying to break away from. But all these different random supremacist states are like, oh, we want our rights to treat people like this. And people just don't. Even if you look at these speeches, if you look at the comments and look at the Trump followers' comments, like, bruh, you will see, especially if you look at the bots or whatever you want to call them, look at how they're talking. They're vulgar and disgusting. When you see this, when people say vote for Trump and the red and the right and all that, when y'all see this video of this African American man walking through the neighborhood, and I posted it in my community tab, and it's out here, those are Trump supporters. You think those people are liberals? So I'm trying to tell y'all are always worried about like transsexuals and the LGBTQ and all this other random stuff. But y'all don't see these people in random neighborhoods still trying to attack black people. All these African American truckers that are coming up hanging and stuff. Y'all don't care about that stuff. It's like, come on, we need to wake up and see what's real now and start to heal the world. And, some of the stuff I hear Trump saying just disgusts me. And then I see, like, because it's confusing. It makes me bug out. It's like the biggest conspiracies from the right. We never went to the moon, space isn't real, the firmament, blah, 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 all this random dumb stuff I heard. Now, all of a sudden, you got Trump on podium saying that we have astronauts now because of Elon and people praising him on. Like, bro, y'all are like... So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand. I hear people all the time that, like, openly they won't admit that they're voting for Trump. But in random conversation, they'll be like, yeah, I might be voting for Trump. It's like, I'm trying to warn you all. Y'all are finna have these supremacists going wild. And this is what I'm trying to avoid, man. This Nazism and this racism type behavior. I'm telling y'all. And all this hatred and supremacy. If you're not gay, okay, that don't got nothing to do with you, man. And why harm and attack people? Us as African Americans, we know what that shit is like. So we should be the last people talking about some sacrificial law that was written by the Pope and these Anglo-Saxons. I'm telling y'all, the deep wake up is getting away from these lies. You can read that book and not be manipulated by that book. Because I just read the prophet Hosea, and I'm finna read the prophet Rice tonight, Amos. I don't know who is doing this, but the point is, if you actually think about it, a lot of this book is like a meal. And when you get down to the like deep translations of what the some of the English and Anglo-Saxons tried to do, because I keep telling y'all the British and Irish is a totally separate race from the Anglo-Saxons. They colonized these people and created English. But y'all are deep late in history because they were doing it to the Africans and the Egyptians and the people in Canaan first. And the Canaanites, deep in history, was trying to enslave Africa. This is all in their written history. It's in a bunch of civilizations' history. So, it's open knowledge that, oh, my balls. I'm sorry, excuse me. This cat does this all the time. He jumps on me. When I first got this cat, I caught him in the wilderness. He was a wild cat. And now he was the most cuddly. When I put him in my car first in the cat cage, he was real mean and scary. And now I can't get him to not be on top of me for more than an hour or two at a time. This is Dracula. Hello, Dracula. No pictures. His name originally was going to be Samson. Me and my friend Alex, we kept calling him Samson. But my girl demanded that he be named Dracula, and then it grew on us. And now he's Dracula. He's so adorable. But yeah, that's my little buddy. But my other cat's around here somewhere, Aphrodite. She's friendly to humans, but other animals, she is like not. She likes him, but she has to like warm up to other animals. And it's his fault, because when we first got her, she was bred at somebody's house, and she's a little calico. And when we got her, she was really terrified. I always wanted to hide behind the cat tree and stuff. I got a bunch of pictures of her on my social media and Facebook. So then, I kept hand feeding her the wet food, and eventually she came out of her shell. But he was so mean to her when we first had to go to work when I was working at the factory. We would have to lock her in one of the rooms to keep her away from him at first, because he was really aggressive. He's a little hunter, so he's just a little cutie pie. I love him. Yeah, but that's my little buddy. It's Dreki. But back to Trump and these Nazis, man. I'm telling y'all are not going in the right direction. And if you even look at their chats and what their people say, they're like racist, man. They're really disgusting people. And if people would just open up and see this, they could understand that a lot of this racism has to go, man, or else it's going to be a nasty future. I'm telling you. And I'm trying to get people to understand this to the best of my ability. I see a lot of people like flying out for Trump. I'm telling y'all, I think they're being paid, because it's so easy if you're it's not hard to get in touch with a big name or a big influencer. So if you've already got like 100,000, 30,000, 50,000 subscribers, of course, Trump's advocates and different people. And another thing I'm trying to tell y'all, this is how fucking petty corporations are. And when Trump's talking about these trade deals, he's not playing. This is what they want. They want all the deals to work in America's favor and starve the world after outsourcing everything to the rest of the world. So then look, you'll see, it'll be like, the gas went up and all this goes up when Republicans are, because they're starving you all. They're basically making it to a corporate, the people who control the prices are the corporations. It's their corporations. I don't care what anybody tells you. Even if something goes up, they have to then vote on it and it goes up. So what these corporations and different individual business owners are doing, because what they'll do is they'll make distribution extremely expensive. Then they'll make the random corporations that's buying this shit from the wholesalers have to increase their prices so they don't go under. They have to pay employees and all this other shit and lawyers and contracts and all this random shit. And that's another thing I keep trying to tell y'all. Having all these different agencies like AIPAC and these different Israeli groups and Ukrainian groups advocating, and the UN advocating for American law and business should be super illegal, man. It's nothing wrong with being an American, but when you're letting these other countries do it for you, and Iran and them, like real talk, America owns the most barrels. They're playing with y'all's heads. They want y'all to think these other countries are evil bad, because if they have a problem with how women are treated in Islam, then why do all these Bible thumpers keep telling women to be quiet and search the scriptures and sit under their man? It's the same shit, man. They're cloaking it under another cloak. And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. It's the same shit. They're wolves in sheep clothing and a false religion. playing in a book perpetuated by the Pope in England and the UK, whatever y'all want to call them, Europe. So, a lot of these institutions started off with slavery and dictatorship. And so even if you look at their random citizens and what they're saying, they'll show you these right-wingists, these extremists in religions. A lot of these people in Israel, oh my goodness, the stuff I see from them is disgusting. That's like, wow. And then who's perpetuating it? The Christians, like I keep trying to tell y'all. So y'all got to break away from this stuff like Neo and the Matrix, man. And even Neo comes from Africa. It comes from Naya and Neo and all this other stuff, which is Greek and African, but it's really African. The Greeks, I heard somebody say the Greeks didn't get any knowledge from Africa. It's like, y'all, they said they did. The people that did it said they did. And now these goofies thousands of years later are like, no, it's from Anglo-England magic land. Like when I do history on Europe, bro, y'all are like out there, bro. Like, holy shit. Europe was like plagues and beef stews, if they could even get beef and potato. Like, and plague and famine. And it was cold, so they had to stay indoors. The difference from like a lot of these like African and warmer nations, they were like outside in savannas and lushes. And then they even had all this stuff in these inventions. So like, it's like hard to explain. People don't seem to understand. So, you know what I mean? Vote Kamala, vote Waltz, vote Blue. Get these like liars out of office and these like people that want to starve for money. And you guys keep talking about the corporations are going to leave. Do you know how many geniuses want to kickstart things? Let them leave. Let them go to these. They keep calling them dictator countries, but I bet they'll flee to the countries if they don't get their way. So it's like just a bunch of media bullshit. And I keep telling y'all, the media and how these media giants make money, they want Trump in office. They love all this attention. Whenever Trump says something fucking stupid, even look at the influencers. And now Trump's out of office and the world can be fixed and healed. And we can start one step at a time, government, religion, all these different institutions, and we can kickstart the truth. No, what do they get? Oh, today we healed the world some more. Today some great things happen. No, they want all that. Trump is in office. I ran with nuclear programs in China, Russia, and dictator, blah, blah. They love that shit. It gives them billions of dollars, and it programs the unaware buffoons until you got people in neighborhoods running around talking about, why are you in our neighborhood? Who are you? And blah, blah, blah. And so it gets tiring. You know what I mean? So vote Blue, vote Kamala, because the garbage is getting old. And it's time to start over and start new. So I hope you all have beautiful lives. I hope you all, and I told Islam, the gay community is advocating for Palestine like I've never seen. I told you y'all biggest hate could be y'all biggest allies and y'all don't realize it. I'm seeing gay men. Remember, the biggest thing is gay men don't give a fuck. They go and do whatever they do and they identify as whatever. They went and took their identities and started advocating for the Arabs. If you don't understand the truth of love, then y'all gonna find out. But all these extremists are trying to bomb y'all and destroy your countries. So, you see how this works? Now, the same thing I saw after Martin Luther King, all these parades and stuff, you have gay men in parades saying be who you want and we can all come together, while you have extremist Christians using old sacrificial law. But if y'all truly knew that book, thanks to a gracious man, the sacrificial law got taken to the cross. And then the 10 Commandments could live. Because what did that man teach? The 10 Commandments. Now, his name was Yanez in history, but in a book, they keep calling him Jesus, which is I am a gracious pig, and it's infuriating. But, hey, y'all, listen. I am who I am who I will be, and I am gracious salvation. You can think of that as Yeshua, Yehohanna's name, or Yanez's name, changed to Juannie, or Yeshua. Because Yanez is Greek, I think, and so American is like America, German, Greek creation, is like Juannie. But Yehohanan, which would be Latin, would be like Yeshua, because it'd be I am gracious and then salvation, not I am gracious and then pig. Sus is Latin for pig. It was Yesuas, which is I am, but then the Germans turned it to Jesus. So you all can accept, like in the Matrix, you can accept the truth if you want, or you all can keep playing in the rabbit hole. But while you all play in Alice's Wonderland, a lot of people are being harmed and destroyed. A little piece of my heart, in that book, it's called Yahweh and Jehovah, where William Tyndale put in that book, and a lot of other people, but William Tyndale was killed, and a lot of people don't know who that is. one of the righteous ones. You know what I mean? He was a scholar and he had the spirit. He said, I will raise a boy to know the plow better than the Pope. Boom. That shit lived out. And you have Martin Luther King Jr., who said we will all come together in love. But I'm not finna leave out Malcolm X. He did his thing too. You know what I mean? A bunch of people did. James Baldwin, he had to flee from this country for real. Flee from her, my people. But that's a whole nother spiritual thing. What I'm saying is it's time to wake up and grow and be righteous and understand the truth, because people are perpetuating darkness. So later tonight, I'm finna read the book of Amos if I can. So, or the prophet Amos. So I love you all and continue to have a blessed day. And let's get out there and get Kamala in office so we can save and heal the world. She's talking, you know why these MAGAhites are coming out crazy right now, right? Because Kamala does have a plan for reparations, and it may not be the biggest in the world, but it's better than nothing, and it will grow and become bigger and help the people in need. So I heard Walt's talking about making plants legal federally, and then starting off with $20,000 business loans, and then even deeper than that, other forms of reparation. So I have a big backyard. It would be nice to be able to put a whole bunch of, I already can in Illinois, but because of some of these racist laws and some of this bigotry that exists, even within the hearts of man, and these corporate types of laws that have been set up to even strike the anointed one or the living one, I can't just have all these plants in my yard. So now I got to wait and live my life, right? But I could be growing all these plants in my yard and then selling them to distribution centers instead of selling my plasma and making righteous money like all these Caucasian people are doing. But for some reason, I get pulled over all the time. I get stopped all the time, constantly given laws. I had to have that, what's it called when you have to have it for 5 years because of insurance, because one of my dad's cars didn't have insurance years ago. And then that stuck with me because you have to pay it for 5 years consecutively. It's just the state and the law constantly coming after us, and we're the broke ones. So I forget what it's called. It has to do with driving. It's emergency insurance. But the point is, I like to live my life and be able to live like some of these other people do, instead of being stomped over the head and treated like garbage. So let's make it better for all Americans. You know what I mean? Because this whole, look, Obama's not American shit. Hussein, y'all keep saying his middle name, so disrespectful. Y'all are like asking for it. And y'all just keep wanting white supremacy, man, but I'm not going to keep letting that shit happen. And with my voice and with my power, I am changing things to the best of my ability. So I am who I am. I am Juannie Bruce, and I advocate for Kamala and Waltz. And I advocate for reparations and changing the world. And I do not hate immigrants. I hate white supremacy and racism and elitism. And I hate what Israel's doing right now, making it bad for all of the real Jews in the world who have to deal with their bullcrap. And Ukraine, who are a bunch of people who do want freedom, and Russians who want freedom too. But these Nazis are spinning a narrative with the BBC, because the BBC years ago was egging this shit on and talking about Nazis in Ukraine and all this other stuff, and the British news. But now Piers Morgan is out here running his mouth like a bot. So, you know what I'm saying? They do it to themselves in history. So stay blessed and keep living your lives and change the world on an individual basis and spreading the word, so that way the whole world can eventually begin to change. I love you all and stay blessed.